Welcome to the Digital Marketing for Business Owners podcast with Ncube. Learn about the latest in digital marketing and social media, plus tips, tutorials and techniques to help you grow your business. And now, here's your host, Ncube.
Thanks for joining me, and this is episode number 9, and in this episode I'll be talking about the many benefits of brand bidding in Google AdWords. Brand bidding basically is bidding on your own brand names and using keywords related to your product names or your company name to appear in the search results. Now, many of your competitors will obviously be bidding on their own brand names, and they obviously do that for various reasons. So it's important for you to assess what is going on in terms of your own brand name and if anyone else is bidding on it, and that will sort of help you decide whether you should be bidding on your own brand name. It has many benefits, but the big disadvantage is that it cannibalizes your traffic, and it makes you pay for traffic that you would have received anyway if people were searching on Google and clicking on the organic search results. So it's something you need to think about carefully and make sure that you're not spending more than you should be. Now, the first benefit of bidding on your own brand name is that it protects your brand. I mean, it ensures that you control the messages that your target marketers see when they search on Google or other search engines. The problem with organic or natural search results is that it's not easy to update those listings, and any changes you make to them could take weeks to actually be updated on Google, or it could even take months depending on how often your site is indexed. So it's not easy to control those messages, and once you've updated something, by the time it's changed, it may not be relevant anymore. So that's one of the major disadvantages of just leaving it to organic, natural results. I mean, another thing is if you've just rebranded, you've created a new brand name and so on, and if your old brand name is still showing the natural results, it won't be a good indicator for your target audiences. Now, with pay-per-click advertising or Google AdWords, you can start to promote the new brand and get people to start learning about the new name that you've chosen and your logos and all your brand identities, whilst your organic and natural results are kicking in. So it gives you a lot of control, and it also allows you to address any negative comments or misconceptions about your brand, and that means you can highlight any attributes or strengths and benefits in your Google AdWords listings. You can use, the good thing about Google AdWords, it allows you to use additional features like ad extensions, like site links, and you can change those messages, put up offers and so on, and just make your listings on Google more relevant. And the other main benefit is that your ad will likely come above the organic search results and not to the right. So that means before they even see the organic results, they will see that paid ad, and it just makes your targeting more precise and your click-through rates much higher. I mean, for brand name searches, click-through rates tend to be much higher than general or standard searches, and we're talking about 60%, which is almost impossible to attain with normal general searches that people do as they look for your products and so on. So brand name searches definitely protect your brand, and it just makes you control those messages and gives you more prominence in the search results. It also allows you to own the space, and as mentioned earlier, your site will be at the top of the organic results for your brand name searches, and you can say whatever you like in the ad that's relevant to your products or your services. And if you've got issues with the organic results that are coming up for your name, it means that a lot of people who are searching and seeing the paid ads will likely click on that and not bother with the organic results. So it really allows you to control that space and determine what people see about your brand and so on, and you gain more exposure for your name and get a higher click-through rate. The other factor or benefit is that it's less competitive and therefore cheaper than most other searches, because it's often the case that you'll probably be the only one bidding on your brand name, and if that's the case, you're looking at very low cost per click, and therefore very low costs overall for your ad group or campaign that has your brand name. So it's got that benefit that it costs you a lot less, even if you're the only one bidding on it and you've got fears that you're getting traffic you would have got anyway from the organic. Sometimes it's really worth it, because as mentioned earlier, you can control that message for a very cheap price, and it also gives you the option to track and see which searches are coming up in your results. That's the other disadvantage of organic traffic with the recent Google privacy updates. You can't see many searches that are taking place that are leading to your site from the organic results, but that's not the case with pay-per-click. You can see which searches are bringing traffic to your site and then optimize your site accordingly. Another benefit obviously is the higher conversion rate. I mean, people who are searching using your brand names are very familiar with your brand, or they may have been referred by somebody else, and those are the kind of people that you want to target, and they are much easier to retain, and they are likely to obviously purchase and become lifelong customers for your business. I mean, obviously not all of them will be looking to purchase from you. Sometimes they may just want an update on any products they've purchased. They want to see what new releases are on your site, what your business is up to, and some of them will obviously be competitors, studying your business and so on, and just trying to see what you're up to. But those will be obviously in the minority, especially if you're in the business to consumer or an online retailer or e-commerce and so on. You will get a lot of searches from brand name searches, and those will be very profitable for your business. So in terms of conversion rates across the board, brand name searches definitely have the best conversion rates, and you can see that in your conversion data in Google Analytics or in AdWords itself. And although in total they make up much less than standard searches, they definitely are searches which rank up there in terms of conversions and customer retention and so on. And if people are searching with your name and you are not coming up, or you are somewhere below, you are likely to lose some of that traffic to your competitors, especially if they're gonna bid on your brand name and then include offers or incentives to come to their sites and purchase from them. Then you are in great danger of losing traffic that could have been very profitable for your business. And as mentioned earlier, through brand awareness campaigns and through word of mouth and so on, many of your customers will be telling their friends or colleagues or family about the good service that you offer, and it's natural that people don't come directly to the site itself. What they'll do is they'll go to Google, because that's what we call a navigational search, and those searches are very common, and some people even use your URL or your domain name to search on Google without actually putting it in the browser. So that also constitutes brand name search, and you want to be targeting those people and making sure that you are getting that traffic and making sure that it's converting and so on. And again, you can see which pages and which actions they're taking on your website. Even if they're not purchasing, it gives you an indication of what exactly they're looking for. Are they actually logging in and doing other actions like signing up to offers or signing up to your emails and so on? So just looking at the performance of those searches in terms of also bounce rate is very important. And it's also very common that bounce rates tend to be low for brand name searches. So that's another benefit which you will notice as you start to bid on those brand names and so on. And the other benefit is that it generally does tend to fend off competitors. What happens normally is that if competitors see that you're not bidding on your own brand name, they take that as a sign that you're either not aware of the potential of bidding on your brand name, or they take it as, a sign of lack of knowledge or skill in PPC, and they will tap into that and start to bid on your brand name. And their click-through rates may not be as high as if you were bidding on it, but they will obviously be targeting people who are at that stage of the buying funnel, who are ready to purchase. And by giving them an incentive like money off or a coupon or a discount, they're likely to defect to your competitors, and that will just see you losing a lot of traffic and a lot of sales and customers in the long run, which is something that no business wants to do. So it does help to fend off competitors. And even if it doesn't fend off competitors, if you're up there and bidding on your own brand name and you've got your name in your title and showing that it's the official website, you are going to have a higher click-through rate, and they may get clicks, or their click-through rate is going to be lower and your quality scores are going to be better. So you're going to come up at the top, and you just benefit in the long run. Certainly, as if it's the case that your competitors are bidding on your brand name, then you definitely need to bid on your brand name. And that's one of the main reasons behind brand name bidding, because if you're not doing that, they're going to be bidding on your name, and you're going to be losing that traffic as mentioned earlier. So it definitely helps, and it helps you to improve all your key metrics, whether it's engagement metrics, acquisition, or retention. It just is all beneficial for your website and for your business. Well, the other thing, you can always do, if you feel that you don't want anyone bidding on your brand name, especially if it's affiliates, you can let them know that it's against your affiliate program policy for affiliates to bid on your brand name. So you can forbid them from doing that, and they won't earn any commissions if they continue to do that. You can remove them from your affiliate program, because that will obviously be competing against your own ads, and you don't want to be competing with your affiliates. You would have got those sales anyway. So it's important to make sure that any affiliates that you sign up to your merchant program are not bidding on your brand name. For sure, they can run ads and keywords for other searches which are related to your products, but none of them should be related to your brand name, your URLs, or any misspellings or close variants of your brand names and so on. And also, if you feel that you want to stop competitors bidding on your brand name in Google AdWords, you can always file trademark form with Google and request that you block them from doing that. It's not always effective, and in many cases Google doesn't they don't involve themselves in these issues, but it will obviously help if you can send them a legal cease and desist letter, and that would just make them feel they don't want the aggro of falling out with your business and so on. So that does help, and if you're not successful on that front, then just make sure your ads and your keywords are targeted and you've got your ad text in there that is relevant and shows that your site is the official supplier or the official brand, and you'll see just your click-through rates will still be high and your conversions will be excellent as well. The other benefit of brand name bidding is it allows you to use a lot of other ad extensions, and a lot of them are eligible to run on brand name searches because of the high relevance of your ad. So your ad could include all your site links, your call outs, your call extensions, your review extensions, rich snippets, and so on. And for many other searches, your ads won't be eligible to run, and that's one of the reasons CTRs can be quite low when it's not actually brand name searches. So that's a very important one, because having all those ad extensions in there allows you to occupy more space, and you come up high in the listings, and it just improves the performance of your ads, and your campaigns and your keywords have high quality scores. I mean, obviously you should always be aiming for 10 out of 10 for all your quality scores, because that makes your cost per click lower and it just makes your account more profitable. And the last benefit, which I've already mentioned but is a very important one, is it leads to a high click-through rate. And click-through rate is very important because it's one of the very important factors for your keyword quality scores. The other two are ad relevance and expected click-through rate. When all three are very targeted and are working well for your business, you're going to see very high click-through rates, and that's usually the case on brand name searches, and that's why they are so profitable compared to other searches. So click-through rate is very important, and I mean, if your click-through rates are high, it also means you get a lot of traffic for a much lower cost, and your campaigns and account tend to perform much better than when you've got lower click-through rates. I mean, click-through rates vary from industry to industry and from business to business, and you will see different rates depending on what you're selling, whatever products. In terms of consumer products and industries, click-through rates tend to be lower, especially for shopping products, because of various colors and sizes of different products, and it's not always easy to target precisely somebody who is looking for a specific color. And many people who are searching for those kind of products, for shopping products, are not really too sure what they want to purchase. I mean, they're shopping products, they're named shopping products for a reason. People do shop around and they may not be too sure what they want, and that is usually reflected in the click-through rate. But when it comes to business products and services, click-through rates tend to be high because there is not a wide variation in the product or service mix. People tend to know exactly what they want, and that's why part number searches and specific product searches are very common, and you will see that in the click-through rate. And especially with business to business, click-through rates sometimes average over 7%, 10%, and that's quite common. But with shopping products for consumers, they tend to be sometimes below 1%. If you can get to 1% for keyword searches, that's very good, but they tend to be low, and they sometimes are as low as the display campaigns, because with display click-through rates tend to be low because people aren't actively searching. What they're actually doing is they're viewing third-party websites, and your ad comes up because it's contextually targeted based on the content on those sites or your placement targeting. So you can reach those people, but as they're browsing different pages, a lot of them won't be clicking, and it's only a small fraction of those that will be clicking. So click-through rates on the display tends to be much lower. But that's something we'll talk about in another episode. Thanks for listening. I hope this has been beneficial to you, and if you have any issues about brand name bidding and how to follow it as a strategy for your business, just think of where your business is, what your budgets are, whether you can afford it, and what your competitors are up to. That will give you a good indication of whether it's ideal for your business or not.
You've been listening to Mike Ncube with the Digital Marketing for Business Owners podcast, helping you grow your business online.